Hey friends, this is the Miss Wolfie from our half-acre homestead, and the leeks are in. We have to get these ready for the dehydrator. Now I have two big bowls or dish pans here with lemon water. This one and this one. Why do I have two? Because there's a lot of the green leeks that I'm not going to be able to dehydrate, the green part, but I can wash it and I can make leek broth for canning, right? So I'm going to save as much as I can. Okay, so here is a lot of leeks. It's going to be wonderful. That's probably going to do me almost a half-gallon jar of leeks. Now I'm going to take these over to the sink, and then I'm going to wash them really, really well under running water to get all the dirt out, and then they're going to go straight on the dehydrator. This is going to get washed, and then I'm going to head out to the garden and see if I can. We had a heavy frost, so I think I'm going to go out to the garden and see if I can't find some stunted celery or anything like that to put into this when we go to make a stock. Okay, I was just out in the garden. There were some little celery plants that were defiant of weather. So I decided to bring them in, and I'm going to cook these with the leeks. Seriously, if I had been thinking, I would have washed those carrots and then peeled them and saved the peels in a bag in my freezer, and saved all the ends of the celery in a bag in my freezer, all the onion skins in a bag in my freezer. You get where I'm going with this? So that at the end of the season, I would have all of this wonderful stuff to make into soup stock. So next year, that's going to be part of the home economics plan. I'm going to finish cutting up this celery, and I'm going to wash these. See, I mean, this isn't very big, but it's going to be full of flavor. So I'm going to wash these vegetables, and I will meet you at the stove. Okay, I'm going to turn both my stock pots, this one and this one, on high, and I'm going to splash just I don't know, a couple of tablespoons of olive oil. Not olive oil. This, you can use olive oil. I'm using avocado oil. And then I'm just going to start. As soon as you hear it starting to sizzle, start putting celery and leeks into each pot. To saute lightly. So I'm going to turn these down now that they're hot. Now, we're just going to, I wish you could smell this. You know, lightly saute these. Whoops. Without throwing it all over the place. Just try and get, this is a lot of greenery, but do what you can. Oh heck. Do what you can to get all of it kind of down into the bottom of the pot with that oil and salt. I'm just going to dump a half a stock pot of water in each. And I'm going to bring these up to a simmer. And I'm going to let them simmer away with lids on them, I don't know, a couple hours. Okay, here's what I've got for the dehydrator. And by and large, I'm really, really pleased with this yield. You have to remember, my leek bed was only like, I think 3 feet by 4 feet. It was just a raised bed. And I got a lot of leeks. And what I don't use, put in the dehydrator trays, and whatever I don't use for broth or the dehydrator trays, goes in the compost heap. So really, nothing goes to waste. And look at everything I'm getting for a package of $2.49 organic leek seeds. Okay, I got 5 nice trays of leeks for dehydration. Now, leeks are a lot more delicate than onions, and so I would not dehydrate these any higher than 125 degrees because they are more delicate and you want to preserve the color and the flavor as much as possible. So I'm going to take these in the pantry and I'm going to put them on at 125, and I will probably rotate them once before I go to bed, and by this time tomorrow they should be ready. Okay, finally I got enough water in each one. And now I'm just going to bring these up to a boil and then turn them down and cover them and let them simmer away to extract all that lovely flavor and color from our plants. Okay, so you've seen me do this before. I got 8, 9, 10, 11, wait, 8 and 6 is 14. I got 14 pints of celery leek broth. Look at this, it's just beautiful. And I have a quart of it going in my fridge for Thanksgiving weekend. All right, I've put my lid on and this has come to a steady stream of steam. So I'm gonna set my timer for 10 minutes. And when this has vented a steady stream of steam for 10 minutes. Okay, our timer has gone off. So we're gonna put on our 10-pound weight. The first time it jiggles vigorously. We're gonna set the timer for 35 minutes for pints. It would be 40 minutes if it were quarts. And please, folks, Howie's fixing the stove door while I'm standing here. Check your manufacturer's directions. If you live 1,000 feet or more above sea level, your weights, processing times, and measures may be different. Okay, here are our leeks off the dehydrator. All 5 trays of them. Now, you may want to run them for a good 24 hours because we didn't go any higher than 120 degrees. So, oh, they're just lovely. Now, I only paid $2.49 for my packet of organic leek seeds. Might have been $2.99, pretty sure it was $2.49. But guess what? I don't count the energy that it takes to cut and dehydrate, or to dehydrate, or to can. Why? Because my energy uses pretty much stay the same all year. In the summer, I'm heating my pool and running the pool pump. In the fall, I'm canning. In the winter, I'm running baseboards. I mean, my bill never really changes from one month to the next, so I don't count it in the cost. Now, if I was selling this stuff, you bet your bottom dollar you would count this in the cost, but you just don't. My garden beds, they go year after year after year. Why would I pay, talk about the cost of the soil and all that stuff? Oh, your labor. What else am I going to do? Sit and watch TV and get fat? Hell no. Okay, so this jar is pretty much full. But I'm just going to, they're so lightweight I didn't want to. See, I'm just going to push them down. And they're so lightweight I didn't want to try and pour them in because they'd probably end up all over the floor. And there it is, kiddies. Look at that. There it is. All right, let's do the math. 14 pints of celery leek broth. The broth was made from, well, you saw how I made the broth. And the celery was just leftover small stunted stuff in the garden. All the better to add more flavor. So I have 14 pints here, a 1 liter quart jar in the fridge full to be used in gravies and stuff this Thanksgiving weekend. And an entire half-gallon jar solidly packed with dehydrated leeks. You want the mathematical breakdown? 14, 16, we're going to say 16 pints of leek and celery broth and a half-gallon jar of dehydrated leeks for, at the absolute most, and they're organic, $2.99. Can't break it down any simpler than that. If you don't have a garden or even a balcony to grow a pot, you know, like a planter, haunt your local farmers markets. Look under the tables at the farmers markets, because 9 times out of 10, if you go later in the day, they're trimming off stuff that's starting to wilt, and they'll put it under the tables, and you can make them an offer, and you can get some pretty sweet deals that way. This is the Mrs. Wolfie from our half-acre homestead saying, whether you cruise the farmers market or you grow it yourself, saving all this bounty for $2.99 just makes home economic sense. Take care. God bless. Happy Thanksgiving to all my Canadian friends.